Pay card.
German disc dolls from New York City, hardly ever played with, so like in mint condition. One has blue eyes like Marion, one has brown eyes like Helen. You gotta buy everything in twos, otherwise they're gonna fight over it.
So cool.
But the raw deal here is you've got 11,000 square foot, but they stuck the girls right next door to mom here, so they can't get away with anything. So. But what happened was these girls were inseparable. They're just like twins, so basically they shared this room for 46 years.
Wow.
They never got married.
Wow.
No, they were well out of this room by the time Terry got here. So, but in about 1951, when Mother passed away, that's when Helen took over that room over there. So, and you'll see the headboard's much different. They were way up the wall there, and what happened World War II? We need all the metal we could get, so you can see they actually cut their headboard off.
Oh wow.
And then donated their headboard to the war effort there, and then flipped their bed around. So from 42 to 44, we started throwing parties for the soldiers, something new, but USO parties we started doing for these guys and their wives from Fort Riley on the weekends. They did this every weekend for 2 years, and 900 soldiers stayed with us in those 2 years.
And they still didn't find somebody to marry.
That's right. Keeping her thumb right on top of there, so that's right.
That's those soldiers were.
But if you see Mother over here, you can tell she's not going to put up with anybody there. So I mean, tough to take a picture of, really. So now, Dr. Seelye, that's about the point he got shut down by the FDA, so he shaved his mustache off, but he kind of looks like Edison there. So both of them very similar with their minds. They just couldn't go to sleep at night, so they'd just be working to the wee hours. So
Right.
2 different businesses, but very similar. I do like to show off the keyholes. Every one of these will have covers over the top, so nobody's peeking through on you here. So even though Mrs. Seelye invited you, she thinks you're a peeping Tom there. So let's go see where Terry stays.
Terry stays. She said where Terry stays. It sounds like he's a guest.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Another little. Almost.
One dog taking.
Yep.
You got a doll there? I love
that
that,
cool?
that one you have at home.
It does remind me of that one, doesn't it? Reminded me of. Ooh, they're gonna have
So just to show off the girls all grown up as Terry knew them, you've got Marion with a big smile on her face. That's totally her personality too. She was just like her father, always the showman, and she became a concert pianist. And then Helen, very much like her mother, not so smiley there. So she would be considered OCD like her mother. And I will tell you, as Terry starts rearranging furniture in his room, the next day Helen pushed it all back to where it's supposed to be. We're still following her rules this day. That's Liverpool, England. It goes back to 1840. That's a beautiful piece, still looks brand new. We will definitely think these radiators are taking good care of our house. The best part is there's no vent, so there's no dust. That makes it a perk. So.
Do you heat?
Ooh. Oh, Mad Hatter.
We got 80 dishes. 1 year they accidentally ordered cases instead of eaches, so we had about 190.
Who waters?
That's Terry.
Oh, okay.
That's Terry job.
He ordered them, he gets them. So.
Let's get you over here so more people can.
So as we're taking a look at Terry's room here, now when he bought the house, he wanted that middle room, and they just laughed at him. So I guess they felt bad, so they put this shag carpet down to spruce up the room a little bit for him. So we appreciate that, a gift from the girls. And right above his bed is called Guardian Angel, as Hansel and Gretel's crossing the rickety bridge, and the angel's protecting him. And I feel like that's Terry. He's the guardian angel of the house, making sure nothing bad happens. So. We do know that there's been a lot of fires in this town. There's a lot of empty lots where great buildings once were, so that's why he sticks it out, even through the summertime, where it is a very miserable house. So you will never shiver in the winter, though. You'll be in good condition now. So
No AC at all?
there is on the 3rd floor, but he's kind of cheap. He turns it off at night, so he just sweats through it. So up there's the Longhorns coming up the Chisholm Trail. You gotta appreciate that. There is all those Randolph Scott, John Wayne movies. They're talking about us, not Abilene, Texas. So this is where the party was at. 36 saloons and 100 gambling tables. So you can imagine how fun they were having on the south side of the tracks.
You all in Dodge City.
Yeah, and we did send them to Dodge because we didn't want them anymore. So they they can have their problems. So Ellsworth and Wichita too. So from here we'll go down to the last of the guest rooms on this floor. You'll see some cranky characters on the wall. That's all Terry's great-great-grannies and grandpas from Germany.
Heard that?
I had to get a picture of the Christmas tree, of course.
It's so pretty.
It is, isn't it?
They tell you to sit there and hold your normal face. Sometimes your normal face is that horrible. So,
They're way behind the covers.
yeah. Now, before photographs, they actually were painting it. You can imagine what that's like. But they always would charge you extra for an arm or a leg. So if you hear somebody say it costs an arm and a leg, that's what they're doing. We got everybody in here?
I think they're coming, yep.
We do appreciate this room here when the light hits just right, shoots a full rainbow right through that prism. So it's nice to see all halogen glass. And so it just set perfect. Curved walls, curved glass, and all that extra detail. And they still built this house in 9 months from start to finish. So how did you do that? Well, there's no unions protecting these poor guys. So she's working you 6 days a week. She'll give you the Sabbath day off, but you better come back Monday ready to go. So 15-hour shifts for these guys. So, and to make it worse, she'll measure everything behind you to make sure you got it right. So, it's a wonder she survived this process there. So as you'll have the powders, you'll have the perfumes, and this is for your hair. You got to appreciate when you're brushing out your hair, they told you you had to brush it 100 times before you go to bed. That's pretty excessive, and you're going to have a big clump of hair when you're done. So they'll turn into a pin cushion, or they get real fancy, put a net around it, and you have a little bun you could wear in the back of your head with all the dead hair you pulled out. So aren't we glad we're not doing that anymore? But every time I unclog the drain, I'm like, think of the treasures we can
Yeah.
Let's go up to the 3rd floor to the ballroom. You want to see a fancy wedding certificate? That's their grandparents, Terry's grandparents.
Saw that, yeah, Wonderland themed.
Huh?
Look.
Oh, Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, look at those, Nathaniel.
Yeah, it's a whole different house. And it is kind of boring after we take it all down. All right, thank you guys so much. When you get to the very top, look all the way down, you'll see how up you come so far. Like straight out of Hitchcock up there.
Is it? Woo! Vertigo there.
Oh, nativity.